Okay. Can you begin?
Uh, Hello everyone. My name is Sumit Lohekar. Hope you all can hear me.
Yes.
Today I will be the judge of this round of your debate comp. And before we begin the competition, I would like to clarify. I would like to first give a small intro about myself. I am a student of Triple IT Nagpur, and I have been into multiple debates and MUNs and public speaking competitions across the country, even in IITs, NITs, other Triple ITs as well. And rather than talking about my experience, I would first like to give you an idea about how I will be judging your debates today. Since the topic is both a little bit factual and also a little bit, what we can say, on the emotional side and the logical side as well. So I want you all to make mechanized arguments and keep in mind that anything or everything that you speak about should be argumentative in nature. It should not have any speculations in it. If you are putting a point forward, I would like that you should explain it to me as well, that why your point is true and how are what are you saying actually matters in the debate. Plus, if you can back it with a fact that is a general known fact or well known fact, then that would be like the cherry on the top of the cake. That is extremely appreciated here. Please do not try to make creative voicing or like raising your voice, changing tonality. I won't be giving any value to that. The It doesn't matter to me how you speak, but it is of most importance that what you speak, the content is of the utmost priority here. And that is all I have to say. All the best. So the let the first team, the proposition, begin with their opening statement.
Hello,
Yes, Sonali.
am I audible?
Yeah, you're audible.
Oh, okay, so may I start?
Just a minute. I would like the secretariat to keep the track of time as well. As soon as they are about to finish, you can give a warning so that they do not exceed the time limits. Is it fine?
Okay.
Uh, sure. So you may begin.
So, India's justice system is on the blink of collapse because with over 5.4 crore pending cases, apart from them, 63.7 lakh cases are from High Court and 82,000 cases are from Supreme Court, and 30% judicial vacancies, and an average case takes around 5 to 7 years to resolve. So we can easily say that our justice system is just collapsing or choking under its own weight. Now, AI integration is not just an option, it's an urgent necessity. Now, to restore faith in our judiciary and deliver timely justice to millions of suffering citizens. So, good evening, everyone. I am Sonali, and I stand before you to argue for the motion that AI should replace human decision making in criminal justice to address India's judicial crisis. Now, I'm sure that most of us have heard that justice delayed is justice denied, right? So, if justice delayed is justice denied, then our current system is guilty of denying justice to millions. So, what's the solution? Like appointing more judges or expanding our infrastructure? Well, we have tried that all. And yes, it takes years and massive funds, and still it doesn't solve the human limits of fatigue, bias, or inconsistency. So now that's where AI comes in. And no, not as a threat, but as a partner in justice. Now, uh, I would like to present some practical examples. Like AI is already working behind the scenes. I'm not making any theoretical assumptions at all. Now, for example, like the Supreme Court's SUPAC system, like which is Supreme Court portal for assistance in courts efficiency, that helps judges find precedents in minutes instead of hours. Like which, if they would do themselves, it would take like many hours, but it is solving the problems in minutes, which is saving a lot more time. And Delhi High Court also uses AI for traffic challan cases. Moreover, Karnataka High Court also that is using AI predictive analytics to identify delayed cases so that they can decide like which case should be given priority or which case should be delayed. And Maharashtra and Punjab courts are also using pilot projects using AI to schedule hearing efficiently so that reducing the amount of adjournments so that they can solve the case as early as possible instead of giving more dates and dates. So imagine if we expand this and let AI handle do our repetitive and routinely tasks simple tasks like scheduling hearing or checking bail applications simple bail applications, so that alone could cut the case backlog by nearly half, which will give a very strong positive point to increase our faith in our judicial system again. And moreover, there is a AI powered tool, Supreme Court Vedic Anuvad software, so that's basically which translates judgments into regional languages, making justice accessible to everyone. So languages also is not a now not a big deal. Anyone can access, like who speaks English, Hindi, they can access all the judgments. Okay. And the best part is that AI doesn't get tired. Humans, AI doesn't take any vacations or it doesn't hold any grudges. Like it applies the law uniformly, frees from bias or emotions. For example, suppose that there are two people committing the same crime but in different states. They should receive two completely different sentences. Is this right? Absolutely not. But today they often do. But AI can change that by ensuring consistency and fairness because AI doesn't make biased decisions. And moreover, let's not forget that this isn't just a theory, okay? Like, uh,
Sonali, time limit is done. I think it's time for the other team.
okay.
Okay,
One thing,
team.
can everyone please turn on your cameras? Yeah, Divyanshu, you may carry on.
Okay, team Mumbai. Who wants to go from your side?
Okay, I'll start from Team Mumbai.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so good evening, everyone. And I would like to start by saying that AI should not replace the human decision making in criminal justice. I support this by saying that recently the Kerala High Court has issued India's first policy regarding the use of artificial intelligence in the district courts. And they have stated that, and they have given a strict guideline for its application, emphasizing that artificial intelligence it cannot be used for decision making or writing judgments. Along with that, there is also Punjab and Haryana High Court, who has also warned against the repeated use of cell phones by lawyers to update themselves using artificial intelligence during the proceedings. See, it's a very simple thing that India's criminal justice system, it's very important. So it does raise a question that shall we allow the computers to make all the decisions? I do agree that artificial intelligence it can help to speed up things, it can help to organize data, it can help to organize cases. But does relying on artificial intelligence alone, it can cause many problems. As artificial intelligence, from where does it learn? It learns from the previous court cases. right? So now let's say that if previously there was a court case who had given some unfair judgment, so in recent time it can also repeat that against poor, the lower caste or minority groups. So it might worsen the situation, and this can lead to unfair punishment. It can hurt people who are already under vulnerable situation. Artificial intelligence, it does not have feelings, so it cannot feel or understand humans like a human. In criminal cases, especially the judges, they need to think about the feelings, background, and special circumstances of people. Artificial intelligence cannot show that sympathy or empathy towards people. It cannot make that moral judgment. And that moral judgment is very important to make fair decisions. Along with that, the computer programs that we use, they are very complex. They are not always clear. So for people using artificial intelligence, now let's say artificial intelligence, it does give a judgment, but if there's a mistake in that judgment, how will people understand that from where did this artificial intelligence come up to this decision? So this will lead in understanding for people, and hence it might become difficult for people to challenge that decision, or rather challenge that wrong decision in the court. It also raises concern about privacy. From where does artificial intelligence gain the data? It collects and analyzes the data from our own personal information, and using this personal information, it can be leaked, it can be misused, so it leads to high risk. As in India, at present time, there are no strict rules on how to use the data from artificial intelligence. It is used in courts and police work, and it might lead to very high risk. So, as mentioned, there's this tool which is called as SWAS, Supreme Court Vidik Anuvad software, which is launched in 2019. It does translate the judgment, but at the same time, it does give a disclaimer that the Supreme Court is not responsible for its accuracy. So, it already raises a question that whether it should be used or not. Finally, the most important factor in our country is trust. Justice, it requires trust. People must have faith in our system. So let's say that if people get to know that the decisions regarding the cases, they are made by machines alone. So they might feel that they are being treated unfair, and they might reduce the trust in courts and law. So
Thank you.
artificial intelligence.
Snelly, time done. Time limit is done.
Okay, yeah, thank
Okay.
you.
Wonderful opening round from both the teams. Now it's time for the rebuttals. So I would like to request Team Lucknow to go ahead.
So, hello everyone, my name is Priyanshu. So, as my worthy opponent said that it will be unfair if we use AI. There are like crores of cases pending, and the averages of those cases are like 10 years, 20 years, some may exceed to 30 years, and they are waiting for their justice. In Nirbhaya case alone, it took like 12 years for the judgment of giving the death penalty to the people who have done that. So it is also unfair for the people who are like 10 years they are convicted for no reason. For no reason they are getting dates and they are not getting justice. As we know, justice delayed is justice denied. And there are many people who will talk about the Article 21 saying that a right to equality and all unfair treatment. So there was a case in 2014 where the same case happening that if the justice is delayed, that is also the fundamental right is being violated. And why we are asking that it is unfair treatment or that like that things. And one more things which I can tell is what about bias? It is not like AI bias. It is about the human bias versus AI bias. Because AI could also be biased on certain things because the things is the human bias can things like you can be influenced by the caste, you can be influenced by the political power, you can be influenced by religion, you can be influenced by anything. And who is going to raise finger on that? That human is although is biased by giving the verdict. So it is On that case, we can say that there is not completely that AI is being biased on the certain case. Human is biased too. Another case of him saying that, her saying that Kerala High Court and Karnataka High Court, the SUPACE and SUVA system is working efficiently because, as we know, SUPACE system, that portal for efficiency that is being used in the Supreme Court, that is working very fine. And the Chief Justice of India, B.R. Gavai, and the previous Chief Justice of India, D.I. Chandrachud, both said that AI should be implemented for the efficiency in the Supreme Court. If our CGI in the favor, if our CGI is in the favor, then why we are opposing it? The countries like USA, the countries like China, the countries like Estonia, Brazil, Argentina, these all are in the favor of AI. Then why we are kicking out the environment of the AI? The China, the 90% cases are being drafted using AI. The US, the Compass system is working well efficiently. In the Estonia, the robot judge is being placed. And Brazil, Argentina, this cases too. So why we are kicking out these things? We should keep this in mind. There are like 5.4 crore cases. Who is affordable for that? Like 5.4 crore. Can you imagine? This case pending cases are more than the whole world. Whole world, you're thinking about that. The European Union has 888,000, but the Indian have like 5.4 crore. And that too, why we need to use AI? First, we need to understand that the mainly cases pending are in the lower court, that is of bail and trial. That can be efficiently be done with the AI. So my argument is that AI should be used. We should not kick out the advancement and the technology. If in complex surgeries, the AI is being used, why not in judiciary too? We should use AI. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Let's go ahead with team one, who's going to speak.
Right. Hello, guys. I'm Rami, and I'm gonna be against the topic. First of all, I would like to say that each of the Sonali and Priyanshu, they made excellent points, but I would like to contradict each and every one of them. Right. So Sonali said that there are a lot of pending cases. She said that each one of the case takes 5 to 7 years, while Priyanshu said that each one case takes around 10 to 20 years. And they said that justice is delayed and justice is denied, which is not efficient. But the problem is that speed and efficiency is not the ultimate goal of justice. Wrongful arrest, biased predictive policing, and even errors caused by AI have real impact. And people can lose their freedoms, their lives, and their livelihoods. The second point was partner in justice. The problem is when you rely on AI too much, humans start to have a tendency of relying on them. When you know that AI is wrong, you will still believe that AI is right. That is called automation bias, and that has already happened multiple times. Now, the next problem was solved problem in minutes. The China case. The China case is the problem is that they have a lot of human rights and privacy concerns, and you also mentioned that the U.S. case. The U.S. case is the problem is that they are racially biased. A research was conducted a couple of years ago, and that they mentioned that black people racially American black people usually have more violent tendencies than the white people, and that is extremely biased, and that was fed by the humans only, but that was the outcome of AI. Another point given by the opposition party was that the Punjab case, right? I would like to quote this thing. The Punjab and Haryana High Court recently warned against the disruption of judicial proceedings with the repeated use of cell phones by lawyers to update themselves through AI amongst other things. But the problem is we already know that they are already in against this thing, and the Karnataka and Punjab case is also similar to this one. My teammate Saley also introduced the SWAS thing. Supreme Court is not responsible if SWAS the application makes any problems, any errors. So who will be hold accountable if something actually goes wrong? You also mentioned that we should rely on AI for multiple things, and you mentioned bias. But the problem is if something goes wrong with the judges or jury, we can actually put the blame on them. But if something goes wrong with the AI, we can't exactly hold the AI, the software, the algorithms, or the person who actually made the AI accountable for it, because that would not be fair. Now, another point of mine would be AI reduces human error and provides objectivity. Well, that is true, but like we can't exactly agree that AI reduces human error in terms of fairness and justice, because AI can't even exactly solve a basic 8th grade math problem. So how can we exactly rely on it to make fair judgment when it involves human lives? Another point of mine would be AI reduces cost and resource burdens. The cost of mistakes made by the AI far outweighs any efficiency gains. And when society loses faith in the justice system, that's far more harmful because it is a moral and constitutional obligation. Um, Humans can be influenced by prejudice, emotions, or fatigue, right? But like when AI is unbiased, it is only because of what humans feed it. But if we want to achieve AI to be unbiased, we have to become unbiased ourselves, and that is good in theory, but we can't actually make it happen, right? So that's another point. You also mentioned that AI can process evidence faster, and research is usually very easy with it. But the problem is that efficiency cannot come at the cost of fairness and justice. So will uh, any wrongful arrest will not work on the long run, which is appeals and lawsuits and any mistakes that we can actually let it happen. Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Brahmi. It was wonderful from both the teams. We'll now move ahead to the cross-examination and open debate round. I just want to make rules clear for you guys. All the three speakers will get chance to speak. Every speaker will get 4 minutes to present their ideas, their arguments. If they have any question, you will be getting 4 minutes each. Uh, so we'll move ahead with cross-examination round. Lucknow, would you like to go ahead?
Uh, as per the general rules that we use in any Oxford or any kind of format debate, we generally allow the opposition to begin with the questioning round, because as we know, proposition have made their statement. So anyone from the opposition can start the cross questioning.
Yeah,
Yes.
sure.
Am I audible?
Go ahead, Brahmi.
So I would like to give a counter to all the questions raised. First of all, talking about AI error in justice. So AI error in justice, such as algorithm biases and black box decision processes clues. Risks of unfair sentencing or decisions without human override, and critics caution that AI should not replace human judges, and the legal decisions must remain transparent and constable. In US, concerns about generative AI either legal drives highlight the need of caution and over validation of AI tools for avoid wrong judgments. And talking about the China and US AI race speed of accuracy, China is rapidly advancing its AI capabilities and narrowing the performance gap with the US, especially in the language and understanding the global reasoning. And we are not gonna replace judges. We are gonna make our judiciary faster. So look, there are more than 5 crore cases pending. So it's not mathematically possible to clear all pending cases. It will take more than 80 years. So there AI is a necessity. We are gonna use AI to make the cases period very fast to handle all the cases. AI we can use in AI administrative task scheduling and hearing without date conflict, sending automated remind to lawyers, processing routine adjustment requires managing case files and document digitally, and even tracking case status and generating reports. Routine legal also matters. Traffic violations and mirror offense. Simple bail applications for non-serious offense. Uncons-
unconcerned divorce and mutual consent matters, routine property registration disputes, and a lot of cases which are not that serious. We can use AI in this, and also AI could be wrong. Humans also could be wrong. There are some chances to for wrong, but we have the judges to cross check and verify. And also, uh, in very rare cases, AI is actually wrong. In most of the cases, it's right. He took all the decisions because we have a lot of data. AI has a lot of data, more than a human. He will answer. He will answer every questions better than a human now. AI is very advanced nowadays, and even if efficiency, if we talk about efficiency, AI can analyze massive volume of case law, predict outcomes, and recommended decisions, reducing case pendency by up to 50% bias based on pilot studies globally. And also, bias and discrimination in AI system trained on biased historic may perpetrate or worsen discrimination based on caste, religion, or anything. But law should be equal to all. That's why the lazy justice wears a black. Wait a second. Actually, I'm not audible, I guess. Can you listen me? My God, rejected.
Yes, you are. Go ahead.
Yes, Krishna, you're audible.
Hello, hello. So I was talking about law should be equal to all. That's why Lady Justice wears a blindfold. And AI has no sympathy or no empathy towards anyone. It will take decision according to the code, according to the laws. Thank you.
Brahmi, I believe you have a question. You have raised your hand.
Yeah, I have multiple questions for him actually.
Yeah, you may
Uh,
begin.
yeah, he mentioned something about using AI as a as an assistant, right? So I wanted to know how he can exactly explain that how the algorithm trained on historically based data will not replicate those biases because it has already been inbuilt in them, right? So how is he going to get them out of it?
Proposition, you have heard the question. You may give your answer. Excuse me, guys. I believe you have not got the gist of this round. You both teams have to present questions to each other and they have to answer. The opposition has given the question. So I believe now it is the proposition's time to answer the question she has proposed.
Sorry, but can you please repeat the question, please?
Yeah, sure. It's my question was that you mentioned that we can use AI as an assistant. So I wanted to know how you can exactly explain how the algorithm trained on historically biased data will not replicate those biases because we have already
Okay,
fed.
okay, okay. I understood. I understood your question. Let me give you answer. So how AI can be used as an assistant? So okay, there is a concept of drafting. The judge drafts the case and then it is given the judgment. So the judge basically reads. There is a post in the court is stenographer who really drafts the case and gives to the judge, and judge reads that. And this is how AI can do that. Is drafting can be done through AI. And my question to my opposition is the one and two, three things that they have said that. One, my opposition said that time is not the matter here. Like, I mean, seriously, if an innocent life is being punished for 10 years, that judge can't have time to hear his case. How it is there that time is in the case? Thank you.
Yes, Brahmi?
Right, so you mentioned the time thing. If you can believe on the judge that he will take 10 years to, actually resolve your case, how can you be so sure that the AI will take the correct decision? What if he takes the wrong life? Because a life is a big thing, you can't exactly just take away someone's life, livelihood, or anything just because you don't have enough time to actually wait for the judge.
So what about now? What are you doing now to do that? We are dealing with the cases like 5.4 crore cases is pending. How we are dealing it? There are like 80%, 80 to 80% cases are from lower courts, and in lower courts, there are mainly based on the paper. This can be manipulated and is exactly manipulated. So let me ask you one more question. How you gonna deal with the big data, cyber crimes, financial frauds, which have big data have like trillions and trillions of data things and document? How you are gonna deal with the normal human type of judge? Tell me, big data.
Yeah, so you mentioned the right. So you mentioned that. Wait. Could you please sorry, Sally, could you take this one?
Yeah, so I would like to answer you that you're talking about the amount of data and the amount of cases that we have. But are the facilities available in those lower courts so that they can deal with those cases? There are no facilities in our courts, even electricity is not available. And when we are talking about handling such a big data, the devices should be available in those lower courts. And I don't think it's feasible to, arrange devices of such a cost. So how will we deal with that? Along with that, you mentioned a thing about bias. So can you tell me such solutions that we can reduce the bias system? Artificial intelligence, if it gives a correct judgment, that's okay, but then there will still be mistakes which will be present. Even if a judge is giving it, even if artificial intelligence is giving it, it's we completely accept that. But we can sue a judge, but we cannot sue the system, right? So how will we deal with it?
I didn't get my answer for the big data, financial fraud, and all these things. How you are gonna deal with the Web 3.0 cases?
So exactly, when we are dealing with a big data and we have a panel of judges, each one has its opinion. So we can collect those different opinions, but when we are relying completely on artificial intelligence, we just have one answer for it.
No one said that we should replace the human judge. This isn't the case. How you gonna read that millions and millions of paper and millions of document that is there on online and human just can do that?
So tools are already available to read those papers. Reading those papers is not a problem. Artificial intelligence can help in doing that. But is the decision making should be replaced? Does
Can
the
you
final
please mention
decision
can you please mention the tools? And you said there are no electricity in the courts of India. And you can mention the data which you are saying that there is no electricity available in the courts of India. Please tell me with the data you can present it.
does the lower courts have enough facilities for them to run?
You said that there is no electricity in that. How you can do it? And there are like you said also said that there are tools and facilities present for dealing with the web data and 3.2, web 3.2. Can you please mention that what is available for this?
The facilities are not present. That's my point.
And that's why AI should be implementing in this case. Government has vision for 2030 that we should implement like 50 to 60% of AI. That's
AI
why we
should
can deal with the that's why we can deal with the pending cases in like 10 to 20, 30 years. If we go with the same pace which we are in, it will take like 200 to 300 years. There are many cases where the accused have died and not got justice. Their third generation and fourth generation are on the dates of the court.
Yeah, that's because the government is incompetent. Okay, we cannot rely on AI to actually take
So
over the.
you are saying that government is incompetent.
Yeah,
That's my point. That's the point I want to make.
yeah, it is incompetent. We all know that, but we cannot exactly hand it over to the AI because it cannot replace it. It's a human decision. It involves empathy and a lot of conscience, which it does not
which
have.
which empathy is needed in financial fraud, which empathy is needed in big data cases? Tell me. And I just want to please mention the data that electricity is not provided in the lower courts and
She did not.
computers are not there in lower court. Please get with the data.
She did not say electricity. She said there are not enough resources. You have to agree that most of the government schools and the small court cases, you mentioned that the small court cases have a lot of millions cases, right? They do not have the capacity to even afford lawyers. How can they afford AI systems which are compatible enough to actually solve the problems over there?
That's where AI will come. You said that they can't afford. The legal aid will be free from the AI side. That's the point which I want to make.
You cannot rely on you can't rely, bro. It's like
How
AI,
cannot I rely?
AI can,
Priyanshu, let me counter it.
hello,
Hello, I'm audible.
yes.
Hello.
you're audible.
Yes, yes, you are audible.
Yes,
Yeah,
You are audible.
actually, we are not completely relying on AI, right? Actually, we can reserve some judges for some cases where human oversight is required. We are here to reduce the like pending cases. Pendency, we have to decrease the pendency, and over 90% cases are very tedious. Like they are very small cases related with theft and everything like that. So that can be handled by the AI, and it could save a lot of time so that judges can focus on the important or complex decision making, right? So it's not the point to defend our broken system, right? Here we are here to improve it, not to defend our broken system. And if we go with the empathy, then can you please tell me that current system's empathy has reduced the backlog or has solved all the problems? Like, then why we are facing it? We are facing everything, right? That's why we need to integrate AI into our judiciary system. That's the point. And if you are talking about like cost, so we know that right, if we would like we would appoint new lawyers and make new courts. Like one of our opponent, she mentioned that there is no electricity in the small courts and all. So it clearly shows that like our judicial system is lacking a lot in case of funds, in case of justice, and in case of lawyers, everything. So why not to give a chance to AI and improve our system, right? Because
Sonali,
that
I believe the opposition has some questions. Let
okay.
them also put it in front.
Okay, sure.
AI can process data, but can it understand the guilty, regret, or human emotions, which are central to justice? If justice depend on only logically, then where does companions, mercy, or moral judgment fix in? Can an algorithm truly understand the pain of victim or the intention behind the criminals? Can
See,
anyone answer?
Yes, of
see,
course.
I
With.
believe that.
Okay, okay.
Uh,
Sonali, you.
okay, see, I believe that that decision should not be taken objectively, right? And when it comes to emotion or empathy, so let's not forget that our current system's empathy hasn't solved the problem of our backlogs, as I mentioned before, right? And
I want to add
if
some
it
more questions.
okay.
Sonali, I want to add some more questions into
Okay,
this.
first I would like to answer the thing that she said
Okay,
that
okay. Okay, you answer.
we
After that, I
should
will ask question.
okay, we should keep judges, right? She
Okay,
said this
right.
statement,
Yes.
right? We should be keeping judges, and that's the point. That
Yes.
should the decision making completely rely upon artificial intelligence? Should we replace the judges for decision making thing? Right, so you are agreeing upon the point that we should not replace the judges and we should keep them along with the use of AI. And the use of AI that you are mentioning is just for reading the documents,
No, no,
right? So
I'm not.
basically what you are saying is that we should use artificial intelligence to read the papers and not for decision making.
No, no, I'm not saying that. Actually, I believe that I want to say that, like in some special cases or complex decision cases, right, which specifically requires human oversight. For that cases, we can save time of our judges by using AI over small cases.
Exactly, so you are saving the time of the judges. So basically the main decision maker that you are keeping in the place is the judge.
No, actually, our topic is not to just completely replace. We are here to integrate AI because, like, AI
Wait a
can't.
minute. Wait a
But
minute.
No,
our
it's not
topic
Just,
is,
replacement.
should AI replace
I think
human?
you should. Okay, okay. You should be more read about the topic. What is the topic of today? Have
Hello,
you
Priyanshu,
ever?
just wait a minute. Okay, just calm down.
Okay,
We
okay.
need to follow the rules. Okay, if someone is speaking, you don't have to question him right away. Let them first complete, and then you can answer or question whatever you have in your mind. Okay, just let them complete first. Don't jump forward.
Can I answer?
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, she mentioned that she wants to use AI till a certain level, right? So we have a thing called automation bias, which has already happened multiple times. If we use AI till a certain level to help the decision making, the judge will actually rely on the AI, which will result in a wrong, you know, in a wrong answer. So if the wrong person gets executed or gets like jailed or something, the life would be sorry, am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are audible. Please
Right.
continue.
Yeah, so you understand, right? If we
Yeah.
even use a small percentage of AI in the level of decision making, we will get biased towards it. And if we end up getting biased towards it, we cannot exactly use, right? Okay, yeah, that was my point.
Okay, see, Brahmi. So, as you mentioned that, first of all, I'm not talking about limiting the use of AI. Okay, because see, I'm not talking on like theoretical assumptions. I'm talking practically. So, currently, we are on a stage to integrate AI up to a certain level, right? But in future, with the coming evolution, AI will also get evolved. The CEO of that. Open company of that chat gpt, he also mentioned that by the end of 2030 AI could be able to perform 30 to 40% human tasks, right? Which will include emotional intelligence as well. So with the evolution of the time, we can rely more and more on the AI by training itself, by feeding the AI the correct data and everything, because like we have to train that. And I'm currently talking about the current situation. And as you mentioned that, if AI would take wrong decision and all, then I just want to question you that, is all the decisions made by the judges are fair? Like, who is responsible if they are biased, corrupted? We have many examples. Like every month, every year, we listen many cases, right, where judge has been bribed or any other court members. And especially, I believe that papers are easily accessible and people can get easily manipulated rather than AI, because there are blockchains and encryption to protect AI data. But what about paper records and bribing, corruption? How would you defend that?
Okay, can I answer now?
Can I? Can
Yeah,
I?
sure.
Right. So, see, you said that judges are using bribes and stuff, right, to form their decisions. But the problem is, you can actually hold them accountable, right? If a jury makes a wrong decision, if a judge makes a wrong decision, you can sue them. You can actually take them to court. But if the AI makes a problem, then what will you do? You will sue the guy who coded the AI, or the AI itself, or the code itself. You can't hold anyone accountable for that. So you have to rely on the person itself who makes the decision here. And you said that emotional intelligence is not is gonna be a part of AI in like 10 to 15 years, right? Do you really want to rely on do you really want to rely on the emotional intelligence of a literal robot, which should not have any emotional intelligence to place with, to make life decisions for your future or your family or like anyone involved? So my question would be, do you really think that it's ethical to allow a machine which lacks empathy or moral judgment or robotical moral judgment to decide when someone's freedom or guilty? So you get it, right? That's my question. Okay.
Okay, so I would like to say that the data we are using and everything else, that basically most of our data and everything is from AI, right? So, is that ethical to use all that data? How we know that it is completely correct or wrong? Like, we don't know, right? And as you mentioned that again, like about wrong decisions, there are jury members in the court, it goes level by level. So we can also use multiple AIs, right, to check step by step. On different steps we can establish multiple AIs, right, which would make the things easy.
Can I?
Yes, Priyanshu. Sorry, yes, Kshitij, you may ask your question.
If the decision is wrong, the person if there is person, we can catch directly the person. But then which AI tool will we catch or blame? Who will like to whom we will punish, and what actions like we can take for that?
Okay, who is accountable? Who will we get punished? And all these questions. Let me answer. The government of India said that who will be accountable for now if the from the apex court like Supreme Court the judgment is wrong. Who is accountable? Do you know? The state itself is accountable for this, and for the AI too, the state itself will be the accountable for that. And let me ask you some questions, as I am saying you are asking questions. So the topic of today's debate is, should AI replace human decision making in criminal justice to address India's judicial crisis? Focus on this three word: India judicial crisis. So you are saying that AI should not be implemented. We should go on the same pace, and we should for like 3-4 crore cases need to be pending more. Like if today it is 5.4 crore, it should be like 9 to 10 crore. And to deal with these cases, we need like 300, 400 years or 1,000 years even. There are the average age of the cases of today which are in the court of India is like 30 years, 20 years. And you are still saying that no, current system is very good. We should not go AI is biased. Have you heard the case of Justice Yashwant Sinha? Have you? How many judges are being upheld for their accountability? No one. And you are questioning on AI like AI should not be implemented. And today the system which is there, it is very fine. And there should be more pending cases like 3-4 crore, more pending cases should be go on. There is no practical way which we can deal with the cases right now. 5.4 crore. You are not giving importance on this number.
Okay, so can I answer now?
Of course, you can.
Okay. So it's not about the number of cases which will keep on increasing. If the number of cases are increasing, the government might take a stand to, include more and more number of judges, to appoint more number of judges for solving such cases. And when you pointed out at the topic, if the later half of the topic says it's about India's judicial crisis, then the initial half also says that should AI replace human decision in making its criminal justice, right? So, should AI replace human decisions? That is also the first half of the question. You should also address that. It's not only about the India's judicial crisis and the number of cases that are being increased. At the same time, we are not the ones who are in the court, but the Kerala government and the Punjab Haryana courts, they must have considered each and every perspective, and then they have, made that policy to not let the lawyers use artificial intelligence during the judicial proceedings, as it is creating a lot of problems. Why? Because the data that we are feeding to the artificial intelligence tools, they might have some errors, and if the same errors are repeated again and again, then the justice delayed, then justice denied. It in itself might become a false thing. If you're not serving the justice itself, then what's the point in going into the courts, and what's the point in using AI, or whether we are using it or not, right?
Can I answer?
Uh, Guys, you have last 2 minutes to wrap up this open debate, and then we can proceed towards the closing statements.
So
Because I
let me
believe
wrap up.
everyone has got sufficient time to speak now.
Okay. So the current system is choked, clogged, and even paralyzed in some instance. I think my worthy opponent don't know that Chief Justice of India is supreme for the jurisdiction reviews matter. And D.Y. Chandrachud and B.R. Gavai, they themselves said that AI should be implemented in decision making, in drafting, and in efficiency. Not fully replace the human, but it should be used to extent of 30%, 40%, and 50% to deal with the current scenario. They are like crores of cases which you can't deal, the human can't deal, and it is mathematically possible. It isn't mathematically possible for this. Another thing, if you are no more, the Kerala High Court knows more than CGI, then what data you are telling about the CGI didn't say that. CGI is the main body of the judiciary system. And another thing you said, that who is accountable? Accountable is the state, as I told you, and there is no fact mentioned about the big data and all these things, how they will handle, humans will handle. The AI will be used in these cases. Even government had initiated 74 crore for upcoming 3 years for implementing AI. The government, the top body, the top officials, the countries, the biggest countries are focusing on AI. And here my opponent are saying, no, we should not focus on AI. This is my case.
Yeah, can I answer that?
Yeah, you may give one conclusive response to that, and then we'll move towards the closing statements.
Right, so you mentioned that you have around 3 to 4 crore, 30 or 40 crores in fact, pending cases. But the problem is, Sonali mentioned that we should use multiple AIs to have multiple point of views. The problem is, all those AIs have similar kind of things, so you can't exactly expect that each and every one of them will have a separate point of view. Another thing you mentioned was the government is planning to use is planning to use AI in the next 10 to 30 years. The problem is we cannot be sure that it will be competent enough in the next 10 to 30 years. So what if it actually manages to get moral compass? We will be in trouble because what if it turns against us? And that's a debate for another time. But this is not how it's supposed to be because we are not exactly against the full use of AI. We are just saying that AI should not replace human decision and it should stay in its limits, that is max to max, like doing the tedious work which humans cannot be bothered with, like the things that take time, like reading a lot of documents. If we know that it can't even do basic math problems, how can we be sure that it will do the statistics properly when it can't even do our stats properly? So we should focus on using it to a limited level, which is like very small. Okay, that's it. Thank you.
Okay, guys, before we begin our closing statements, I want to give you a few points. Please do not make any new arguments in the closing statements. You can counter the arguments of your opponents. You can expand your own argument by adding one or two facts, but you cannot make a new argument in the closing statement. That may cause your negative, like, you understand what I mean to say. So the opposition should first give their closing statement, and at the end, the proposition should give the closing statement. So whosoever is going to give the closing statement from the opposition may begin now.
Yes. Honorable judges, respected audience, and my worthy opinion. Justice is not a formula to be compute. It is a feeling to be understood. Yes, artificial intelligence can analyze data, read thousands of files, and predict outcome, but it cannot feel. It cannot understand guilty, regret, or pain behind crime. Justice is not born in a or code. It's a life in a human consciousness. In our code, a single decision can change a life forever. Can we truly trust a machine that knows logics but not emotions to decide a person's fate? What happens when a small base in a data becomes a bin is injustice in reality? Indian judiciary crisis is real. We have pending cases, uh, slow tracks, and vacancies court, but replacing judges with machines will not fix it. It will only make justice mechanical and soulless. The solution is not to remove human, it is to empower them with a better technology, better training, and strong reforms. Because justice is not about being fast, it's about being fair. And fairness can never comes from an algorithm. It comes from heart that understands the right and wrong. So I stand firmly against the motion. Let AI assist us, but never replace us. Because when it comes to justice, humanity must always have the final word. Thank you.
Thank you, opposition, for your beautiful closing. And now I may request the proposition to begin with the closing argument, the closing speech.
As concluded, AI is proven practical remedy. It's already being used worldwide for judicial tasks. from China Internet Code to India's own e-code initiative. AI is being speed, transparency, and accountability. States should remember there are 5 crore cases which are pending. This is a large number which are not focusing on. There are millions of waiting for the justice. There are millions of child waiting for their dad to attend his birthday party, who is falsely accused because the millions of cases are pending and judge can't give him date nearly to like 2 months. All in India's criminal justice decision making. It's a part. It's not a slogan. It's just a hope for us to handle and restore the faith in the law. We stand firmly for the motion. Jai Hind, Jai Shri.
And the question is not whether AI is perfect, it's whether AI is better than our current collapsing system where millions are waiting for justice. There when victims die before seeing your cases resolved, maintaining the status real, it's a real injustice. India cannot afford to wait. We have to use the technology. We have the crisis, and we have the moral obligations to act. AI integration, starting with the routine tasks and evolving towards complex decision making, is the only scalable solution for our judicial crisis.
Okay, guys, I believe all the opening and closing statements have been made. I have a few questions for both the proposition and the opposition, and I would also like the organizers to keep check a few facts that I'll be sharing with them. Uh, the very first question I have is for the proposition. You mentioned that in the rebuttals, that artificial intelligence is correct in most cases. So can you give me a substantial proof of how an artificial intelligence is correct in cases? Because what you have made here is an affirmative statement, and I just want to know the logic behind it. Hello, guys. Am I audible?
Yes,
Hello.
yes, you.
Yeah.
Yes, you are audible.
Has the proposition understood the question?
Yes, yes, we have
Hello.
understood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello,
Yes.
am I audible?
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry, can you please repeat the question?
Yeah. One of the member of your teams in the from the proposition stated that artificial intelligence is mostly correct in giving outputs and giving correct responses towards the cases. I just since this is an affirmation that you have claimed something, I need to know the logic behind it. That how are you claiming that artificial intelligence is actually superior, or was not superior? My bad. Correct in resolving most cases.
Okay, so I have many examples Estonia already uses AI judges for small claims, right, with a 99% accuracy rate, which is a factual data, not any assumption or theory, right? And in China also, AI judges handle minor disputes, which is cutting the backlogs by 30%, which is also reducing the crisis. And even in UK and US also, they are using AI tools which are working with great accuracy. And even in India as well, in many in our Supreme Court and High Court, we are also using AI powered tools. So that all are the example that which proves that AI is working efficiently. We are not just making assumptions, right?
Okay, I have got my answer, and let us move towards the opposition. Opposition has stated that it is not like you have once stated to me that the artificial intelligence, when trained on biased data, is going to give biased information, and you have mentioned US research. Can you elaborate on that? That what kind of data are you talking about, and how actually does this bias pushes in?
Can I answer?
Sure.
Yeah, so a research was done in 2020, I think, and during the research, it was proved that AI considers Black Americans to be more violent than the white Americans. And that's clearly a bias that was fed by the humans to it. That's why I assumed this was not. I think you got the answer.
Yeah. I would like you to share the article once with me, or from wherever you have got this
Should I search
information.
it up?
If do you have the proper proof with you? Because I believe you have, when while making the research, you
Yeah,
should
I did
have.
the research on my notebook and a paper, and
Yeah. If you have the link, you may please share it in the chat. And the next question
okay.
is that, the opposition, sorry, the proposition has made a proper argument at a case that humans can be biased with bribery, which has been a case even in the recent cases. A judge of one of the high courts was found in Delhi with a lot of cash, which proves that humans are susceptible towards manipulation as close as what we can think of. Then can you say that they cannot be even a little bit replaced, or they should not be even cross-checked with artificial intelligence? Do you claim that this bias is much more, the artificial intelligence bias is of much more severity than the manipulation of humans through bribery and other channels? This is my question. Opposition, the question is for you.
The question is for.
Yeah, the questions for opposition, and let me simplify it. In recent times, we have seen that judges are and have been influenced by a lot of factors such as bribery and a lot of things. Uh, how are you able to claim that, or how are you able to support the statement that artificial intelligence's bias can be put in of more importance than the manipulative manipulations of humans? As we know, both are susceptible to bias. So, how can you give me a logical framework that how the artificial intelligence bias is more important to be considered than the manipulative condition of humans?
Can I answer?
Any one of you can answer.
Yeah, right. So you said that AI bias could or could not be more biased, right? So I'll get to the answer, right? So we already know that you can actually bribe the judges, but you cannot bribe the AI. And similarly, you can actually catch the judge while taking the bribe, but you cannot catch the AI while it's getting fed biased information by other users. That's why I think it's more important to keep the judge at the decision level making, because you can actually catch him while he's doing the wrong stuff. And yeah, you get it, I think.
Excellent, guys. Now, since we are completely done with this, I would like to give you a final review on your entire debate, which was, I believe, excellent. Both of the teams have given very good arguments, and yes, but first let's begin with the flaws of the entire debate. What I found, what you all were lacking. The present point is, a lot of you are lacking the depth of argument, the mechanization that generally debates want. Point is, you don't have to make a lot of arguments with me to convince me. You just have to make a few. I would have been convinced on one side, or not just me, anyone would have been convinced on your side with five good arguments and in-depth analysis of them, forming a chain of argument that you propose something, it tells that it leads to something else, and that is how my premise is worthy of discussion. The premise that you have to establish, the proposition established one good premise about that artificial intelligence can uh, what we can say, help in the judicial crisis, the amount of cases that have been incurring, but they repeated it a lot of times. They did not form a logical chain of arguments to convince me that yes, what we are saying is completely true. Facts are something, yes, which are undeniable. So I don't find that just by stating a fact, you don't win the leverage in argument. What you win the leverage in argument is that using that fact to backbone your argument. That if they could have stated that in such cases where judges have been extremely diligent, artificial intelligence can be employed and if they had given a little bit of framework and how this process is going to work, then that would have been the, what we can say, a golden win situation for them. And this kind of things proposition should consider. Even when opposition's chances came, there were a lot of arguments in where artificial intelligence could have been criticized. One of the best arguments that you gave is about the training data. Once fed bias, it gives bias, garbage in, garbage out philosophy. But where they have won over it is about the timing establishment. If you are criticizing that artificial intelligence's efficiency does not win over the fact that we need to provide empathetical judgment, you have to even at some extent give a counter to that by stating a framework where the humans can become at least some more efficient that they are. So the leverage that the proposition is getting by stating that there is a judicial crisis boils down. So both of you lacked on depth, not on breadth. Both of you covered a variety of points which were factually backbone and all. But what I missed was mechanization of a lot of arguments and using correct facts at correct places. Just by stating them, it won't help. And yeah, now comes the plus points. Let's begin with proposition. Proposition did an excellent job in catching the use of like the favorable portion of our topic today. They analyzed the topic. You did it a bit late. I expected you to do it from the beginning, but nevertheless, better late than never. You caught the proper premise and you used it to your leverage as well. That is what I appreciated about you a lot. And even opposition did it well. They caught it later after they did it, but yeah, if you are able to get the gist of it, that's really good. And the opposition's one argument, as I said, the garbage in, garbage out philosophy, and one of the point that justice needs to be empathetical. Justice without compassion is just a judgment. And since we are talking about criminal cases here, a lot of arguments in the beginning were made about petty cases, and petty cases are also can be considered such as minor thefts as criminal. But the criminal word in itself somewhere points out to a larger amount of severity. So there I found a lacking in some arguments that, yeah, how artificial intelligence is going to be empathetical towards this. And just by stating, a lot of you have made the mistake of stating that if one person of power states that they have said this, that actually does not give make it true. Just because our CGI stated that artificial intelligence should be used, it doesn't make it an argument in a debate that I can say, okay, BR Gavai sir, Diva Chandrachud sir have stated that artificial intelligence should be used. That is their opinion. At the end of the day, they are human. Even in case of like the Sam Altman's statement about AI doing 30% of human work, that is also something which should not be. You can add it as a substantive towards your argument, but it cannot be your main argument. It should never be your main argument, because at the end of the day, it is just an opinion. So uh, just a question to the OC: do I need to share the results right away, or do we have a little bit of time before declaring them? Dibyanshu?
I think you can take your time. Just share the result after the meet.
Yes. Okay. I will share it with you guys. By the way, great enthusiasm by both of the teams. You performed well above my expectations. And yeah, please keep debating and please continue this art. I really loved you all. Thank you so much.
Hello, Divyanshu. If can you please turn off the recording and streaming both?
Yeah, sure. Okay.